Okay, for the trumpet, here are some basic things you should do regularly to keep your instrument clean and in good working condition. The part you should clean most often? Mouthpiece. Your mouth's all over this, right? Water's in there, used all the time. So, for a trumpet, this is very easy to clean. You can just put soap in your hands, rub it around, and then rinse it with water really good, clean it out. You can also soak it in warm soapy water, or, and this is what I prefer, is to put it in the dishwasher. That way you disinfect the inside and the outside as well. There's a brush you can get at a music store. It's a mouthpiece brush. It looks like this, but it's a little smaller, and you can put it inside, and you can clean the inside out. You can do that as well. There's a mouthpiece. If you play trumpet, you've probably experienced some stickiness with the valves. They love to get stuck. And all these moving parts, these screws here and the tuning slide love to get stuck. So anytime a valve gets stuck, it's almost always due to the fact that there's dirt inside, or the oil dries up a bit, gets dry in there. So let's take off the valve and we'll clean it. We'll take that off. We'll also take this bottom screw off, because we want to clean the inside of the casing. When you take the valve off, you'll notice up here there's a number 1, and all the valves are numbered. The one closest to you is 1, the one farthest away is 3. And even on the outside casings, it has a number 1 and a number 3. Number 2 has a serial number. I think on most trumpets it does, at least. So I'll get a drumstick, a small piece of cloth like this, and I will put it through here. And go to the other side. If you have a real skinny stick and a skinny rag, put it all the way through. It's even better. So we got that going. Now we're going to put a couple of drops in the mouthpiece. We don't want to put oil into the holes because, of course, it falls through and that's a mess. The holes are for the air. So we're going to put a drop here. Drop here. I like to put a little less oil than too much oil. Too much, it gets kind of slow. It's kind of slow moving. So I'll work it around like this. And by the way, always turn it the way a clock goes. This. Even if these top little buttons come loose, always turn it the way a clock goes. If you turn it the other way, you can actually take this apart. This top piece comes off, the spring pops out, and you got a mess inside there. So put this on. We're going to turn it. We're going to work it around. Get the oil in there. Then we're going to turn it until it stops turning. Then we're going to turn the screw on, tighten the screw on. And I'm only going to tighten it. This needs to be very straight or it doesn't go on. Just tighten it until it stops, and that's it. Now before I put this bottom screw on, you can clean that. Mine's pretty clean, but you can wipe that out also. I like to use cork grease. This is the one part on the trumpet that I'll use cork grease for, and that's the threads. Put a little bit on the threads, and then put this on, because these screws will freeze with a passion. They love to freeze up, especially when they're dirty. So I'll put this back on. We'll work it around, and then put it on just till it's just hand tight, just till it stops turning, and that's it. I haven't done these in a little while, and look, they're not even frozen at all. So cork grease is good for those threads. This is your main tuning slide. This affects the sound of the whole instrument. The more you pull it out, the lower the sound is, and it's very slight, but there is a difference. Let's pull this slide out, and if you haven't done so, we're going to clean it. So let's do it now. Let's clean it. So we're going to wipe this off. And I like to use slide oil. Slide Ease it's called. It's a little thinner than cork grease, so the tuning slide is a little easier to move in and out. So we're going to put a little on here. There's a couple of tiny drops or blobs. I'm going to take a rag and I'm going to just distribute it all evenly around here. Because when you put the slide back on again, it kind of squeezes out. Now the bottom part, or where the water key is, that's a little longer than the top, so we're going to put that on first. So it goes on and then the top goes on. Now it's got to go on straight. If it goes on straight and it's clean and lubed up, it should go on. It's got to go on straight. Once it's on, work it in, push it all the way in. If there's any grease that's coming out, that's being squeezed out, you just wipe it off, and you're good. So that's basically it. Also, I have a polishing cloth I use after I play. Just wipe off the horn, especially when it's warmer out and you're kind of sweaty and stuff. Acid from your fingers tends to wear through the finish, and the shine's the first thing to go. So I'll wipe it off, keep it nice and shiny, and that's basically it. See you later.